This video is for new Suzuki parents. I'm going to go over what pretwinkle means. Pretwinkle is before a student knows how to play their first song on the violin. And that first song that they learn is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So that is why we call the time before learning that song pretwinkle. Now this pretwinkle time is very, very important. And the short answer as to why it's important is because playing the violin is hard. That being said, every child can learn to do it, even though it's hard. Just like learning to speak a language is hard, every child learns to speak a language. So every child can learn the violin. So in this pretwinkle period, we learn the violin piece by piece. If you were going to eat a watermelon at a picnic, you're not going to try to stick the whole watermelon in your mouth. You're going to cut it up into pieces and then eat each of those pieces bite by bite. And that is how we teach the violin in the pretwinkle period. So the skills that your child needs to learn during the pretwinkle time are as follows. They're going to learn to keep their violin up on their shoulder with the weight of their head. They're going to learn how to hold their bow. They're going to learn how to open the bow arm at the elbow so that their bow can travel straight on this. See, there's this highway here between the fingerboard and the bridge. They're going to get their bow traveling straight down that highway to get a nice sound. Not this, not that. Then we're getting into all these car accidents. We want to drive our car straight down that highway. They're also going to learn where to bow along this long bow. If your child's little, they'll have a shorter bow than this. But we mark off a spot on the bow, usually this big, where they can learn to play successfully. It's easier to learn the correct arm movement when we're doing it through a small range. Your child is also going to learn how to get ready to play the violin. There's a lot of steps to getting ready to play the violin. And these steps are so important. If all these steps aren't taken, the first note of your song doesn't come out how you would hope. So we call that setup. So proper setup. Another thing we need to learn is the names of all the parts of the violin, because we refer to these when we say, point your scroll at me, keep your bow between the fingerboard and the bridge. So they need to know the parts of all the instrument. The parts of the bow. Keep your hand on the frog. Avoid touching the bow hairs. These are all things that we say, so they need to know what these are. The other thing we do is get the left hand ready to be able to play notes here on the fingerboard. And this does take some time and some strength building for your child's hand to learn the proper shape that it needs to play on the fingerboard. And then we also learn the 5 twinkle rhythms that go with the twinkle variations. So when we play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, our first song, we play it 5 different ways with 5 different rhythms. So your child is going to learn those rhythms ahead so that when they go to put it on the violin, they already know a piece of it and it's easier to put together. So I urge you to enjoy the pretwinkle period, have fun with it, and let it be a strong foundation for when your child does learn to play their first song. And before you know it, down the road, they'll be playing many, many, many songs. So there is no reason to rush through this time period. Have fun with it and enjoy it. This is Nicole. with Sterling Music for All signing out.